The Venom of Honeybees, and How It Can Be Delicious, an expression project by Gabby Resch. When people talk about honeybees, most of the time they are referring to a species known as the western honeybee. But where exactly does this hardworking insect fall in the lineup of life? This species belongs to the phylum Arthropoda, the clade Pancrustacea, the epiclass Hexapoda, the class Insecta, the order Hymenoptera, the family Apidae, the genus Apis, and the species Mellifera. This insect is important to us because of its role as a pollinator, but what stands out in most people's minds, especially if they've been on the receiving end of it, is its painful sting. But what exactly is in that venom to make it so painful? In fact, there are 63 chemical components in a honeybee's venom, mixed artfully in different proportions. Almost like a recipe. I'm not going to go through all 63 of these components, but I will highlight some of the important ones, in a recipe of my own. The first important component, believe it or not, is water. Water actually makes up 88% of bee venom and acts as a solvent for the other components. For my recipe, I'll use chicken stock to represent water. Now we'll move on to the enzymes. The first important enzyme is phospholipidase A, which is the most harmful component because it destroys cells by breaking up their phospholipid membranes. This enzyme will be represented in my recipe by a variety of spices, since they bring the pain just like this enzyme does. The next enzyme is phospholipidase B, which does essentially the same thing as phospholipidase A. It will also be represented by spices. Hyaluronidase is the next enzyme. Its purpose is to break down the protein polysaccharide complexes in surrounding tissue to allow the venom to spread. I will cut up some chicken to use in my recipe to represent this component. The last enzyme is acid phosphatase enzyme, which causes histamine release in the body. I'll use fresh onion in my recipe to parallel this enzyme, since onion causes irritation in the eyes just like this enzyme causes irritation in the body. Now we'll move on to peptides. The first peptide is melittin, also called apitoxin. It contributes to almost half of the dry weight of venom, destroys cells, and causes histamine and cortisol release. I'll represent it in my recipe using pasta, since pasta will make up the bulk of this meal, and non-gluten-free pasta can cause allergic reactions as well. The next peptide is apimin, which causes cortisol release and is a mild neurotoxin. It will be represented with chilies, since hot peppers can cause some serious stress to those that eat too many. MCD peptide is responsible for histamine release in the body as well. It is going to be represented by more peppers and also garlic, since these components add even more spice and flavor. The last peptide is atolapin, which is an anti-inflammatory and an analgesic, and acts to inhibit the damaging phospholipidase A. It will be represented by heavy cream, since the dairy will serve to cut the spice. Histamine is a compound involved in allergic reactions. It causes inflammation, pain, and itching. Allergic reactions are hardly a pleasant experience, so we'll represent histamine also by using those variety of spices. Lastly are alarm pheromones, which serve to alert other members of the hive to the threat and gather them to help defend the group. This will be represented by the delicious smell of my dish.
smells delicious for what it's worth.